Can you beat Fall of Cybertron with only melee?
No,
What? Silence!
it's impossible.
I decide what is possible and what isn't.
Let's give it a shot.
This will be amusing.
I think it goes without saying that Fall of Cybertron is one of the best Transformers games we've ever had.
For once, we agree.
Hyman Studios really upped their game for the sequel, and not only emphasizing more on the story, but also the multiplayer, being able to better customize your Transformer. I can't tell you how many hours I spent on the multiplayer alone. Oh, how I'd love to go back to 2012. The hype leading up to this game was insane. We had a playable demo, DLC to look forward to, and those badass CGI trailers. Surprise! Prime just murdered Starscream. Now if you've seen my War for Cybertron Melee video, this video is going to be very similar to this, which means I'll also be doing a vehicle only challenge. And I plan on doing this for every modern Transformers game.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
So be sure to subscribe, yeah? Because I've just realised what I've brought upon myself. Now you may be wondering, how am I playing this on PS5? Well, back in 2016 you could buy it digitally on PlayStation 4, but unfortunately it's been delisted from the stores. This was applied to the rest of the Transformers games.
Whoever did this to us will hear from all of us!
Now let's lay down some ground rules. No weapons unless absolutely necessary and it stops us from progressing. Which means basically the death of the video. 2. No abilities. And finally, just to make it more challenging, no transforming. But what about the Vortex and Starscream chapter?
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
Yeah, unfortunately some areas force us to use our vehicle mode. And to make matters worse, we no longer have a double jump.
No, I need it.
And because we're real gamers, we're gonna go on hard mode. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not that mental.
Later! That's cheating!
So for Chapter 1, the Exodus, we're playing the end of a game. And to start us off, we're gonna be Bumblebitch.
Hey! Is that funny to you?
Hey, you don't have a voice in this game, so shut up. The journey begins with the Autobots leaving Cybertron to look for a new home, which is apparently one of the hardest decisions Optimus Prime has ever had to make, that and quitting basketball. But unfortunately for them, the Decepticons are hot on their tail.
Oh my god! What is it?
Yes, that's it. Follow the light.
Is that good or bad?
Unfortunately, right off the bat, we have no choice but to use our weapons, with this being a tutorial. Prime, lend a hand here. It isn't long though until we can melee our first enemies. Prime, when I said lend a hand, not literally, we get a death threat from Megatron and... Dude, bro, you could have just said excuse me. The situation is dire, so we need to get the pulse cannons back online. We were 2 seconds away from death.
I'll hold it open for you!
RID Grimlock, is that you? After narrowly avoiding getting sucked out, we're able to reactivate the lifts.
Looks like it's time to drop some science on you all.
We then enter this small room and get a couple of kills.
Oh yeah! We got it down now! Oh great!
After getting the pulse cannons back on, it's time to roll out. Because unfortunately, we can't change form here.
What do you think the odds are now?
Nothing you can't fix.
Our next task is to get closer to Optimus.
No!
Man, I really miss those cannons in this game.
Then I'll just have to destroy you all! Hey, watch your aim! That was unfortunate. Hey, you're a good shot with those rockets. Never felt better, Prime.
After taking in the amazing music by Danish composer Troels Foreman, we start Chapter 2, Defend the Ark, as Optimus Prime.
All the slammin' shorties in the house say yeah.
6 Earth days before the launch of the Ark, the Autobots prepared to shut down the city.
Perceptor, how goes the city shutdown procedures?
Nearly finished, Optimus. My team will have all systems powered off and archive.
Perceptor, just do it.
But unfortunately, we are attacked by the Decepticons. But before we head off on our journey, there's one thing I've got to check.
Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Where are you, Optimus? We need you! Wait a moment.
We walk our way to the auxiliary entrance to help out Ratchet repair some Autobot soldiers.
Oops, sorry, my bad. Do you have any idea what it's like to slowly fall apart and die?
More than you know.
Oh hey look, it's Sideswipe.
We need that dropship to get support to the outer wall.
Kill Megatron, how about that?
Optimus, I need your help.
Optimus, Ratchet could really use your help.
Yeah, I'm not deaf. Before we head out, we've got to repair Silverbolt.
Easy. Save your strength. Completely unnecessary. You know.
Oh, it's really sad to see all of our Autobots in this state. Wait a minute. That's a really bad self-portrait. We help out Cliffjumper, and before heading out with Warpath, we head into Grimlock's room and watch some television.
I am directly below.
The enemy screwed up. Deep Wang.
Where are you, Optimus?
It's time to get serious and have our first battle.
Go!
Oh my god, we do suck. Unlike War for Cybertron, most enemies in Fall of Cybertron take 2 hits to kill, which becomes a pain in the ass later on. Warpath wants us to use the gun turret, but we can handle this on our own. Maybe. Now you do receive help from other characters in this game, but not by much. After disabling the Decepticon bomb, we head inside and meet Preceptor. He needs us to get another Moleculon fuse. To protect us from Megatron's attacks, we need to redirect the power to the artillery gun.
I've been trying to get these weapons online, but they're quite old.
Don't tell us about it, just do it.
But the Decepticons are right outside, so we join up with our boy Cabbage to stop them.
They'll be through any second.
Steady, soldier.
Shortest conversation ever. We avenge our boy Cabbage for a life cut short. Our next area wasn't that much of a challenge, with it being an open space and there being energon cubes around. But when the Leaper arrives, we reach our first obstacle, as we have no choice but to shoot it in the back, because if we don't...
You're next, Prime. Come on!
In this area, we have to deal with 4 Leapers, which took me way longer than it needed to, with them just pushing me around all over the place. Now we face a Decepticon Marauder. Now we can't take this one out with melee, because the area is blocked, so we have no choice but to call an airstrike. Now you may be wondering why I switched to Megatron's gun form. Because it makes that sound. We slowly make our way out after activating the guns, and then we encounter Starscream.
All the danger you can handle is already here, Floptimus Prime!
And he's made a right mess of our Autobots.
No.
Yeah, he has, Prime, look. And I gotta say, this area was testing my patience. It's our first encounter with the shotgunners, and I swear, they at times make this challenge almost impossible. And I'm on normal mode. The best way to get them is hit them as soon as they land, and what helped as well was this explosion, but I still had difficulty with the final one. We need to get to the neutron gun controls, but we got a bunch of Decepticons in our way. An airstrike would be nice, but we're a Prime. We can melee this.
Not today.
But eventually, I was able to do it.
I believe the scientific term for that is
Perceptor. Shut up!
We make it to the guns, where we have no choice but to use the cannon because, well, story progression. The gun goes offline, but little did Prime know that the station is alive, with Optimus feeling his presence through the Matrix. And with one lever, the station transforms.
Ma weep, Grogna weep, Ninny Bong.
Now for Chapter 3, Metroplex heeds the call. We play as Metroplex. With us now having a huge advantage against Megatron, quite literally, we head off to the ruins of Iacon.
Sound the alarm! Sound the alarm! That was unavoidable.
For this chapter, we have to destroy all the warp cannons, but we gotta deal with a couple of Leapers first. Anyone care to explain why Jetfire's head is enlarged? And it's here? After destroying the first warp cannon and witnessing Metroplex go full Bayhem,
Genius. Hi, I'm Michael Bay.
we head off to the second warp cannon, but first we've got to deal with a bunch of Decepticons. Not only that, but it's time to get up close and personal with the Marauders. They are possible to defeat melee, but you've got to go back and get some health because these guys are going to kill you really fast. I would say these guys take roughly 20 hits to kill.
Kapow! Warpath, what are you doing? I just squeezed the trigger and pow! Enough. Ooh! Look who's a big shot!
We deal with the last wave of Decepticons, but unfortunately with one Marauder, we have no choice but to call an airstrike because we can't reach it. But what's even harder to reach is this damn entrance. After moving to Megascream's head, we destroy the third warp cannon. We've got one more left to destroy, and we gotta reach it quick before it destroys the arc.
Starscream, we've got Hey, watch your aim. Try not to do that again. Why do you fire at me? That was unintentional.
Making our way to the last warp cannon, this area was a massive pain in the ass. I died multiple times here. We can't get through without destroying the Marauder and the dropship. We can't melee either of them, so we have to use the airstrike. But the biggest pain in this area was the shotgunners. There was just too many here. But I pressed on, timed my attacks just right, and we were able to move on. Except for Metroplex, who sadly got shot down by the warp cannon.
Wasted ordnance is unacceptable.
Also, I've just noticed that the damage on the buildings are motherboards. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. With Metroplex down, we deal with it ourselves, until...
Surprise, motherfucker! I needed that.
we get taken away after being kicked in the face by Starscream.
Flapdimus Prime!
Funny, isn't it, Megatron? How easily I defeated the one adversary you couldn't.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked.
Silence! I'll stop when all of you are dead!
No!
You seem a little pitchy, dog.
Just when all hope seems lost, Metroplex is back online.
I am the Dominator! I am the Destroyer! I am...
Take that, Decepticon, punk.
You dare not let your leader perish! This won't disable me for long! My equilibrium destabilized!
Megatron has fallen! I, Starscream, am now your leader! Decepticons, follow me!
Nothing like blunt force trauma.
Despite the Autobot victory, they need to find more energon for the Ark.
And quickly.
You feeling lucky, punk? Easy, Ironhide. Just kidding.
Now for Chapter 4, Eye of the Storm, we're going to be playing as everyone's favourite, Clifford the Big Red Dog. We head to the Sea of Rust, but we won't be alone, as our best buddy Jazz joins the ride.
It'll have to do, Sideswipe. You ready, Cliff Jumper? Always. Let's do it. You want the horns? No.
We make our way through, and are forced to try out our new cloaker ability, but we're a pro like Solid Snake, so we ain't gonna use it. A big obstacle in this chapter is that we're forced to transform to use the vents, but we're only going to be using the vents that progress the story. In the next area, we've got to stealth our way to the trash compactor. Now I've platinumed 5 Metal Gear Solid games, so this is going to be a walk in the park.
He's no Megatron. Better than...
Wow, this is boring.
Much to my shock, and frankly quite disturbing, is that the Decepticons have a poster of RC.
Now we're talking. I'll put a few dings in ya. Hey, you there?
You guys are so raw!
Cliff Jumper!
Jokes aside, we're able to get our sneak on and activate the trash compactor. We have a lot of cons firing rockets at us, but all you gotta do is just hide behind here.
I know!
Moving on to the next area, we have a new enemy type with a con using a stealth cracker.
We're cracking my homie's gasket. You stink! I can smell you from here!
Man, I don't know what to think no more, man!
I don't know why, but I hide in this corner every time thinking they're not gonna see me. But they always see me. The best strategy I have is just to run out of there. You know, you could just move on to the next area very quickly if you just ignore them. Of course, there's no other way to get to the next area without going under these vents. Now, one of my favourite but small moments in this game is entering the map room. I just love how this looks. It's so beautiful.
Jazz, you should see this place. It's beautiful. Oh, that's nice. Write a poem about it and move on.
G1 Jazz would never say that. Now for this part, you've got to stealth it just right and make sure the Decepticons are in certain positions, because if you don't, this shotgun is going to kill you really fast. Or you can just wing it like me and hope for the best. I don't know how I did it, but I was able to pull the lever without getting killed. But my victory was short-lived, as I died. I tried to plan my next attack, but this giant rat just hopped onto my keyboard. Buddy?
You're not helping.
As we make it out for the vent, we gotta go meet up with Jazz. But the rust storm kicks in, and our boy gets trapped. So we gotta go rescue him.
Down like visitors from heaven, hallelujah!
Now the stealth crackers aren't too difficult, they take about 6 hits to kill, and their charging up time is really slow.
Alright, Pinhead, your time is up.
What are we doing? Well, this is boring.
Now we encounter the wall crawlers, who are 10 times harder to reach than the flyers in War for Cybertron, with this last one being a pain in the ass to reach. Now I thought I would have to shoot him down, but thankfully I figured it out. And with that, we reach the final area of this chapter. And oh my god, I absolutely hate this escort mission.
What the fuck?
The amount of times I had to hear this line.
Should be more than than enough fireworks to crack that lid. Should be more than enough fireworks to crack that lid. Fireworks to crack that lid. Fireworks to crack that lid. Crack that lid.
I lost all my love for jazz.
That is not cool.
This is without a doubt one of the hardest parts in the challenge, because these shotgunners can kill you in just about 2 hits. Now only the shotgunners are focused on you. The regular soldiers are focusing on that energon bomb, but they're hitting it hard, so you gotta get rid of those soldiers while at the same time trying to dodge these shotgunners.
They aren't making this easy. I really hate this.
I'm not kidding when I say that this took me 10 attempts, and 2 of those attempts was the energon bomb getting destroyed. The strategy for this is just to kill the soldiers and avoid the shotgunners. You're gonna have to do a loop around the stairs, and as soon as you kill 3, more will spawn, and keep doing this until you kill 14 in total. But you gotta do it quick, because as soon as the bomb stops, they will attack you. All that's left is the shotgunners, and the best strategy I found was to hide around a corner and wait for them to come one by one. With that trauma out of the way, it's time to detonate.
This looks like a cool place to kick it.
Yeah, good luck, Bell. I mean, that's almost impossible. Oh, you did it. Nice.
Now for Chapter 5, Cut and Run, we're gonna be playing the coolest Autobot, Jazz.
Well, I don't do my iconic victory dance for nothing. Okay, I guess just this once I can do it for nothing.
What's cracking, little bitches?
Okay, I guess I can do one more for nothing.
What's cracking, little bitches?
Okay.
As we parkour our way down to the bottom, we immediately come across the dead body of one of Grimlock's teammates, Sludge.
Are you crazy?
Oh sorry, I meant dead as in cut from the game. You know, he's technically still alive, through his memory core. We discover that Grimlock's team was attacked by the Insecticons, a bunch of creepy critters that we're going to be taking out in seconds. Kind of hard to imagine that Grimlock's Lightning Strike Coalition force was taken out by bugs. Oh yeah, that's their team name by the way.
That's terrible.
We gotta get out of here fast, before we die from a toxic overload. Now the thing about this chapter is that you can't die from falling because with Jazz having a grappling hook, he automatically saves himself. The most easy and useful thing in a video game ever. I guess you could technically consider this entire level an obstacle because there are some areas we just can't reach without using the grappling hook. Anyway, whatever, we escape in the most coolest way possible.
What's cracking, little bitch?
We reunite with Cliffjumper.
That was close, Jazz. What now?
Maybe I'll knit a sweater or something.
We find a lake that's filled with raw energon, so we gotta get there immediately.
Little help!
No.
We pick up a badass rifle, which we actually do need to use on one wall crawler because we can't progress through the mission until we shoot it. After dealing with a couple of cons and hanging up Bay vs Bumblebee, we've got to find a way to unjam the gears to get across.
Figure it out, Sir Rust-a-Lot.
Hey, show some respect.
What? I said sir.
We have no choice but to shoot at the weak point so we can get across. The next area to the surface tunnel is actually quite a challenge because we need to kill all of the Decepticons for the grapple to lock onto the door. I wouldn't say it's outright difficult, just rather tedious because you've really got to time yourselves here. We almost make it until Jazz's fat ass breaks through the vents.
Careful. I'm sensitive about my weight.
Like I said, the last area wasn't too difficult because it's nothing compared to this section here. These shotgunners are brutal. I once again followed the same strategy by just hiding around the corner for the shotgunners to show up. Can you see how much fun I'm having? Yeah, I perhaps spent way too long in this section than I really should have. I was just running around in circles just hoping that the shotgunners wouldn't get me, because they got my health super low. Finally, I did it and I was able to get out of this hellhole. Next, we gotta help Cliffjumper.
Take this, big guy!
With Jazz being able to automatically recover his fall, this first wall crawler was easy to melee, but unfortunately for the rest of them, we had no choice but to shoot him, all thanks to Cliffjumper for getting us in this pickle. This also carries on to the next area. Our reunion with Nolan North is cut short once again, as we have to find a new way to break in. But we can't progress any further without pulling this secret lever.
Don't worry, I can cheer you up.
It's Small Move! You voted and we listened! This cannot be undone! Small Move is here to stay!
As we reach the end of the chapter, it's time for a quick history lesson.
These look like the coordinates you found in the map chamber. What's so special about that planet?
You like jazz?
We sneak up on Starscream telling Shockwave to hurry up with his experiments. Meanwhile, Cliffjumper attempts to get himself killed for the third time.
On guard, dickhead.
What? How dare you speak to me like that? I could crush you with my pinky!
As Cliffjumper deals with the console, we deal with the Insecticons, and honestly, this is as easy as it gets. Even the bugs that fly that seemed hard to reach were actually quite easy. The space bridge is set to blow, so that's our cue to walk it back to the ship. and it cannot be done. Staying true to my non-transformation rule, I wanted to see how far we could get by just walking it, and unfortunately we don't make it. We get so close as well towards the end, but unfortunately the meltdown timer ends.
Jazz, I'm running out of road! Someone call for a ride?
Bit too late for that sideswipe.
Sorry about that.
If you want to take away the dash and no sprinting rule, you can easily make this. After giving us the best shot in the game, we reach Sideswipe's ship.
Sideswipe, get us out of here! You guys have been busy. Oh, well, you are even uglier up close.
Well, you're not winning any popularity contests.
The bots radio into Prime and tell them about the huge reservoir of pure energon that can both fuel up the Ark and get off Cybertron.
Call me Dr. Jazz!
No.
Don't be a moron!
Now for Chapter 6, Death from the Above, we're going to be playing as Vortex.
Who?
That's right, Dr. Vortex is on duty.
He's a member of the Combaticons who are being ordered by Starscream to destroy the Autobots' new precious energon cargo.
The supreme leader you have chosen to crush the...
Starscream! Shut it!
The plan is to divert the transport off the main road and into a sky ambush. And as Vortex, we need to destroy the bridge, with Brawl's help.
I like blasted stuff. We have limited time and energon to pull this off. Make it happen.
You interrupted my speech!
Well, I'm inspired.
In this chapter, we have no choice but to be in our helicopter mode. After shamelessly hitting the alarms and not being able to shoot at these drones to save Blastoff,
Shoot any of them today, Vortex?
we make it to our first area, where we have no choice but to use our shock blast.
Hey.
Stop right there, Decepticon!
Oh, just shoot him!
We immediately split up from Blastoff due to the Autobots trying to cut us off. Life's too short to have to deal with these shotgunners, so it's time to find another way around. Time yourself just right, and you can make this jump. But it can't be that easy. We need to pull a lever to open this door. And there's no other way to reach it, so we need to transform. And we can't even pull the lever until we destroy this turret. And these things are weird. You can't even transform to melee them because they trap you. They will lock onto you no matter what. And just look at this. I can't melee them. They are relentless.
Feels like brain melting. Ah!
So unfortunately, we reach another obstacle where we have no choice but to shoot it. Even though I know it's not going to work, I still try and pull the lever, even if I haven't dealt with all the Autobots yet. These bots are just relentless, man. Finally, with that out of the way, we can move on.
Scrap. Hate these guys.
I tried my corner trick, but oh my god, these guys are just annoying. I was able to do it the third time, just barely. Now it's time to meet up with Brawl.
We're in position! Brawl, get your main guns online. You want the tank? You got the tank! What the? Nothing happened!
We've got Autobot Marauders guarding the extra shield in. This is going to be fun. Once again, just hit him enough so you can go back and get an Energon Cube.
Okay, I am very good at that, I'll admit it.
Please don't jinx it. The Autobots on the far left wasn't really all too difficult. It was the Autobots on the right side with 2 Marauders that was the biggest pain in the ass.
You about done. I want to blast.
You shut the fuck up!
Yeah, kind of busy here, Brawl. You tried aiming.
What did you say to me?
Sorry, buddy.
Thankfully, when you destroy one, the game saves. So if you die, you only have to deal with one. After destroying the final bridge support, we have to deal with these turrets. Now we have to shoot down this one, but as for the one near Brawl, he takes it out for us.
Brawl, why didn't you just do that to begin with?
I'm going to murder him. It's time to head inside and destroy the controls.
Great. It's spooky dark down here. You're afraid of the dark? Well, it does make it hard to see.
As we make our way through, we deal with a bunch of annoying shotgunners. But worst of all, we have to deal with Mr. Titan.
Hello, it's good to be here. Hello.
In all fairness, the Titan isn't really that hard to melee. It is a long process. Thankfully, there's Energon Cubes around. You're looking at around 12 hits without his shield. Yeah, you also need to destroy his balls that protect him. But not only that, halfway through, a couple of Autobot soldiers chime in as well. The only real annoying thing is this.
This is just no fun at all!
And after landing the final blow, we destroy the bridge. Once again, having no choice but to transform.
No, not that!
Now for Chapter 7, Belly of the Beast, we're going to be playing as the Intergalactic Arms Dealer, swindled.
I could spring a leak, I'm so excited!
Despite destroying the bridge, the Decepticons still need to deal with the cargo's defenses, unless if you're Starscream, who doesn't hesitate to attack.
I can't stand it! I can't stand it! This is a cosmic prison! You're too crude to accomplish anything!
I beg your pardon. My strategy is brilliant.
You're all military morons!
Idiot.
Onslaught wants us to drive to the underbelly, but we're gonna walk it. And I immediately regret making this a rule. Annoyingly, we're on a time limit, so we gotta act fast. But we can't melee these, so we have no choice but to shoot it. And just ignore the Autobot cars, they don't do much damage, they're just like mosquitoes. But these Autobots are ruthless, and will tear you to shreds.
Wheeling and dealing! Their firepower is too much!
Really, Starscream?
Starscream's getting smacked real good!
As we head off to the next area, we've got to deal with acid.
You realize acid does more than just singe your paint job, right?
You bet.
We disable the cargo, but our punishment for this is having to deal with 2 Titans. And 4 minutes felt like 4 hours.
This is one lousy experience!
For this, use the open space to your advantage and just take your time with it. Much to the con shock, this cargo can fly, so this mission got 10 times longer.
Time is money. Let's go!
Woo! Now for Chapter 8, Combaticons Combine, we're going to be playing as Bruticus's Foot. Yep, we're back to playing as Swindle, but not for long. And we already have an obstacle, this jet engine that we need to destroy in order to get past. I tried to melee it, but I forgot Swindle also saves himself. Let's check in on Teletran.
Combaticons Swindle identified. It is doubtful that you will survive Starscream's leadership.
Okay, yeah, he knows too much. Before we disable the engine, we need to destroy the anti-air cannons.
This is Starscream! The mission is lost! Abort! Abort!
What the fuck did you say?
Unfortunately, with the cannons, we can't melee them, so we have no choice but to shoot them. And you best do it quick before these shotgunners blow you to pieces. Onslaught wants us to use our boosters, but he underestimates how dumb we are.
Oh! Toast! Think of this as an encouragement to hurry the scrap up!
Alright bro, chill. For the second cannon, the Autobots sabotage the controls, so we have no choice but to go on the dropship and destroy it ourselves. With it now destroyed, it's time for the Combaticons to combine into Bruticus.
I should be filming this!
Gonna be tight! Here comes the feel-good! Feels like I've got sludge in my brain!
12 years later, and I still can't believe we have a Transformers game where you can play as a combiner. I miss you, High Moon. Sadly, we won't be here for long though, because it's a pretty straightforward mission. You can just ignore the Autobots. They really don't do that much damage to you. You can just crush them and not even notice.
Come fight me one-on-one!
These Autobots have got a lot of balls. However, you can't ignore everything, as you do need to destroy these cannons in order to trigger the next location.
There's dumb, and there's stupid, and then there's you!
With pleasure!
After destroying the turbine and the rest of these turrets, we break into the control room.
Whose butt needs kicking?
Yes, in your face!
Oh, now that was a gorgeous lob! Come on, admit it!
Combaticons!
Man, shut your bitch ass up!
Congratulations, Onslaught.
Who are you? And what are we doing in these crude carcasses?
Unbelievable! Arrest them!
Now for Chapter 9, Megatron returns. We're going to be playing as Soundwave.
Why don't you all just sit back and listen while the DJ spins the story?
Who else was it going to be? Do you ever notice this con who just sits on Soundwave? It just gets me every time. It's time to put an end to Starscream's reign, so we bring back Megatron. If you couldn't have guessed that already. We summon Laserbeak to get us a tech vault so we can charge up Megatron. There's no combat with Soundwave, so technically not an obstacle. We gotta thank our little birdie for a job well done.
Pleasure working with you.
We can also eject Rumble, but as for Frenzy, I think he's being punished for something. Nah, look at the little guy run in.
Hey, who are you calling little?
After linking Megatron's new arms, we summon Rumble to get him a new head, in a trash bin.
Here, boss.
Sure, why not? They just have them laying around. It's now time to infuse Megatron with Dark Energon and bring the Warmonger back to life.
In 3, 2, 1, optic circuits online.
Ah, those were the good old days back on Cybertron.
Gone are the failures of Megatron.
Starscream, you filthy retro rat!
After acting like we just didn't get crushed to death by a giant robot hand, we go and confront Starscream. Let's just have some target practice.
I hate to be Starscream right now.
Even the Autobots know.
I can't hear you!
All hail Starscream!
One more time!
All hail! This is comedy.
Megatron!
This guy gets what's about to happen.
Give me one more chance! I beg of you!
The game forces us to test out Megatron's new hovering ability, so we have no choice but to use it and destroy a bunch of cons.
The Decepticon army is now loyal to me. Choke on my exhaust!
Hard to imagine that these two are supposed to be in the same continuity. Now I'm actually quite proud of myself for this because I didn't die once, and I thought for sure I was going to get killed, and I was so close as well. Most of these Decepticons really aren't all that tough. It's when the shotgunners arrive, where you've got to be dancing around this room, well, in a loop. You're basically just going in a massive circle. And it takes more than 2 hits to kill some of them, because look, I am almost gone. But as soon as you deal with the shotgunners, everything else is pretty much easy. But don't ever underestimate any Decepticon, because as soon as you get careless, you will die. Unfortunately, however, we do reach one obstacle with these wall crawlers. You have no choice but to shoot them, because you just simply can't reach them. But when it comes to the leapers, we can just whack them in the back, and we're good.
That was enjoyable.
No, it wasn't.
With the final leaper destroyed, it's time to beat Starscream.
Cowards! Is there no one left who would challenge this pretender to the throne?
Fight your own battle, Starscream.
One guy just ruined that moment.
You are either lying or you're stupid.
I'm stupid!
As Starscream escapes, and we erect our new statue, it's time to go and meet up with Shockwave.
Soundwave hasn't reported back in days. Where can he be?
Megatron! I think I've found him.
eBay?
Request permission to buy it now.
We're playing as Megatron again, in Chapter 10. In this chapter, we're going to the crater where Trypticon crashed when he fell from orbit to get his power core.
What? Where are we headed, Megatron?
I really want him to say Venus. Fred Tatashaw, I would have paid you for that one joke. The first thing we have to deal with is the annoying vehicle-only Autobots, which took about 5 or 6 hits to kill, and this dragged on so much. The only minor obstacles in this area is that we often have to use our hover ability to get to the next area.
Pete, do you have visual contact? We have every kind of contact!
The Autobot dialogue in this chapter is so funny, man.
Hit him! Hit him! We are hitting him!
With what? Insults?
All who oppose me will suffer!
One thing I didn't expect when I turned around this corner were a shotgunner, and I died instantly. The shotgunners in this level are one royal pain in the diode, and we'll get to that towards the end. We make our way up and meet Soundwave.
Soundwave, report!
You're dispatched, Holmes. You keep laying down the same beat and I keep giving the same answer. It isn't here.
We can't leave until we pet our little birdie.
Disgusting.
Next up, we have to deal with an Autobot Marauder.
I think we hurt him! You didn't even hurt his feelings!
I don't think this dude has feelings. To reach these Autobots, we have no choice but to use our hovering ability. Once again, with these Marauders, try and do enough damage as you can, as long as there's an Energon Cube nearby.
Better!
With this Marauder, I felt like we reached an impasse because I kept hitting this thing over and over, and it just didn't want to die. I was just like, wait, is this actually possible? Does the game want me to shoot at it? I mean, I saw the smoke, so I kept going, but my health was gone. And that thing has such a long distance as well. Finally, I destroy this thing, but it's not over yet, as these shotgunners were really giving me a headache.
My patience wears even thinner than my energy levels!
But finally, I was able to kill these guys. Just our luck, we have to deal with another Marauder and these annoying turret cars.
It's so boring.
With that out of the way, we order Bruticus to clear a path through the gate. And I'm sorry guys, but I can't resist.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
So yeah, bizarrely we can't melee this guy without accidentally killing ourselves.
Megatron has entered the facility! Thanks for the update! Get out of my line of fire, you imbecile!
Oh, screw this. For the next section, we have no choice but to use our dash and hovering ability to make it to the top. It's there where we have a little chat with Optimus Prime.
Feast your eyes on the new and improved Emperor of the Dark Side!
You don't say.
Optimus pleads with Megatron to stop and wants them to work together, but you know how this goes.
End your aggression. We can work together. They say I have anger issues.
You're one royal pain in the...
I wish he hadn't have done that because of his shotgunners.
Approach me and suffer! What? How dare you!
Once that's sorted, we make our way down, and I am not dealing with these guys. I'm just going to ignore them at all cost. These guys, however, are really hard to avoid. You can't get around them by just waltzing through, so you have to take them on. I had to think of a good strategy here, and I decided to just charge at VIII because I know there's an energon cube there. You gotta be quick though, because these guys like to run off. One thing that appears to be unavoidable are these sticky rockets. There's just no way to get around them, so you gotta hurry up fast before they do their thing. You've also gotta watch out for this shotgunner, who is gonna try his best to kill you. But with that being said, I was finally able to get through this horrible area.
And that is why Megatron shall lead!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
It doesn't get any easier in the next area. It's quite easy to get around, but you have to kill every Decepticon and able to progress because, well, there's a lever you need to pull, and you can't pull that lever with all these cons firing at you. But to get up to the top, we do need to use our hover ability, so that's another obstacle. And another obstacle is that you've got no choice but to shoot these turrets because they clip through the wall as you're trying to pull the lever.
Say what?
Oh, Christ, I really hate these turrets, man. The next big pain in the ass was this Autobot Titan.
What is this abomination?
It was a rhetorical question, Soundwave. After multiple attempts, I was finally able to take down this giant brute. We arrive at Trypticon's leg stabilizers, which we have no choice but to shoot. But it was incredibly hard not to shoot these shotgunners. These two were just getting me every time. I think Knockout and Breakdown have some competition because these two are a match made in hell. I was finally able to do it, and Christ, it felt good when I finally killed these two. Damn, after saying that, I feel horrible now.
What have I done?
After unsealing Trypticon's body, and avoiding all of these Autobots, we have no choice but to shoot at these pods and some wall crawlers, except for one that we can melee. We finish this chapter with Soundwave hacking Trypticon's energy levels. And that's it. Yep, the chapter ends. No more enemies to deal with at all.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
This is, without a doubt, the worst part of this run. And it's all because of the shotgunners.
In the end, he will suffer. In the end, there will be only chaos.
The first part might seem easy, with the energon cubes around, but those energon cubes don't come back, so as soon as you have one, that's it, they aren't regenerated.
Oh no!
The best thing you can hope for if you've used them all is just to melee a shotgunner and pray that they give you one. There are multiple shotgunners coming at you at once, and they will not stop following you. I was running around in circles for ages because I was afraid if I turned around, they would just kill me.
Leave me alone!
And I stopped playing the game for 2 days. Now you'd think just wait for the timer, but the timer only goes up when you kill a certain amount of enemies. And at certain points I was close to ending the chapter.
You are tearing me apart!
I want to say these turrets were protecting me, but these turrets can't protect shit. The only thing these turrets can really kill are the wall crawlers. I only had to kill one, and I let the rest of them do the work for me, with it finally ending the chapter.
The mission, the nightmares, they're finally over.
Megatron's plan is not to save Trypticon, but to redesign his body that competes with the Ark, transforming him into the Nemesis. But before he does this, he needs some music.
Soundwave can pick up radio signals from across the universe. Play my favorite song.
My Little Pony.
Good stuff.
Now for Chapter 10, Starscream's Betrayal, we're going to be playing as Jeff. His only purpose is to die horrifically. Like typical Starscream fashion, as soon as we've got work to do, it's time for a nap.
When I'm back in charge, naps will become law.
I'm sure my personal servant would be happy to oblige.
This displeases me. Tell Grimlock about Petro rabbits again.
Well, that was pleasant.
As soon as we blow up this poor dude, we have no choice but to break the rules, as this entire area is a huge obstacle, as we have to fly around and hack all the sentries. But at least you don't have to bother with the enemies. But before we end this section, you know I just couldn't resist.
Very handsome, if I say so myself.
As we make our way down, we eavesdrop on Shockwave, with his test subject, Grimlock. And with us playing as Starscream, an opportunity arises.
The fuck is that? I'm dying in this country.
Unfortunately for Starscream, it's now time to switch characters.
The only reason you yammering metalheads are still online is because of me! The supreme leader you have chosen to crush the Autobots and leave—
Me, Grimlock, no like you!
Please don't cry!
Me, Grimlock, kick butt! I don't want any of that! You talk to him!
Fortunately for us, this entire section is melee.
Please don't hurt me! I'm tempting them!
Now for this I've decided I can throw enemies but I can't use my shield, because if I couldn't throw, all of Grimlock's chapters would be an obstacle. Shockwave wants to give us a tutorial so we can reach our full potential. Yeah, that don't sound like a dumb idea. After slicing the rest of his cons, we break Swoop free. We then check out Shockwave's lab. That's gross. Oh my god, Grimlock, what have you done? Please, put it out of its misery, it's in pain.
Clean up on aisle 5!
What we definitely need to put out of its misery is Hard Shell, which is very simple, just throw these energon bombs at him. It's so easy, it kinda makes me feel sorry for him.
Me, Grimlock, not feel sorry. Me, Grimlock, laugh.
To finish off this chapter, we time ourselves with Swoop and make a break for it. Or make a walk for it.
Grimlock! Something big tunneled through the bottom here.
Don't know, don't care.
Now for chapter 12, Grimlock Smash, we're going to be playing as... Grimlock.
Quiet! We want to hear a story!
The chapter starts with Grimlock and Swoop splitting up, and just like the previous chapter, there's no real difficulty at all. The Insecticons are just pests.
Hey, bugs.
Except for the Decepticons.
No!
Due to game logic, we can't transform yet, so Shockwave, with the help of Kickback, is going to show us how. They get a giant bug to basically piss us off. Now, technically I'm not going to count this as an obstacle because as soon as we transform into our T-Rex mode, we can transform back straight away. Yeah, this challenge is basically where you can't have fun. You don't have to worry about hitting them in a particular spot, you can either slash and throw anything at them. The only sad part about this is that we didn't get to kill Kickback ourselves, but it's worth it for this one throwback.
Excuse me.
Well, they sure gave Slug an IQ boost, didn't they?
Slug, you look terrible.
Not even subtle. We regroup with Swoop, and it's now time to find Snarl. Oh, and I'm going to be orange this entire run now. No matter how many times I play it, this section will always be frustrating to me.
Stupid door!
As we make our way through, we deal with a horde of Insecticons and a new enemy type, the Spitters.
You cut through those guys like beryllium baloney. You mean cesium salami. No, beryllium baloney. Cesium salami. Wow, and I thought you were mean before.
Before we rescue Snarl, we have to destroy this power core, which we have no choice but to turn into our T-Rex mode and use our fire breath. The same goes for this final section where we have to save Snarl from Sharpshot.
Snarl, is that you?
Would you please open the gate and let me in?
That's Snarl.
After destroying the 6th and final one, it's time to take a bite out of Sharpshot.
Stay away from me! You
Snarl is pretty messed up, Grimlock.
So we help. This time.
The Dinobots head into an observatory where they contact Optimus Prime.
You're alive. We feared the worst.
Ha! You're joking.
The Decepticons are using the portal to rip a hole through time and space, and to stop it, Grimlock takes matters into his own hands.
You must help stop these disasters. Me, Grimlock, not care.
Grimlock, wait.
To make our way to the tower, we briefly control Swoop.
Hey, we Dinobots gotta stick together!
Unless if you're Sludge. Yeah, we break all of our rules at this part. And when we get to the tower, it's just a walk in the park. Even these leapers aren't that hard to deal with.
Grimlock is king!
Okay, these guys were more annoying than I thought.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
After finally destroying these guys, it's time to confront our owner.
You didn't think I'd build something so powerful such as you, and not have a way to control it.
You wrong, and you ugly too. Me, Grimlock, kick butt.
We haven't got time to kick anymore, as the space bridge is about to melt down, and that's how the chapter ends, with the space portal becoming unstable. But the Autobots don't have enough energon for the Ark, leaving it to Metroplex to sacrifice himself.
Optimus, take whatever spark that remains within me. Metroplex, my friend. You're responsible.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Unfortunate, but necessary. No, 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 no! Wait!
Now for the final chapter, Till All Are One, we're going to be playing as both Autobots and Decepticons. And first up, we're going to be playing as Soundwave.
You will lead the first wave of the assault.
I let my skills speak for me.
After busting out Rumble, we make our way to the Ark, and we only have to deal with 2 rooms of Autobots. The first one is not that bad, and the timer is not dependent on how many Autobots you kill, which would have been helpful in the final countdown, but the second room has a dozen of Autobots, a lot of them being shotgunners, that can really make this difficult. The goal is to kill all the Autobots and pull the 3 levers. Now you can pull the levers with the Autobots in the room, you just have to be very quick and careful.
Use laser beam to destroy those Autobots!
Negative. Soundwave. Superior.
Now I would say you can avoid the wall crawlers, but you've got to kill a few because if you don't, they will stop you from pulling that lever. With that done, it's now time to switch sides and play as Jetfire. Okay, I really hate this part. You'd think I'd remember after playing this game a dozen times where the chick and the armors are, but I always forget, and it's always the most boring part of this level. Now for something short and sweet, we're going to be playing as Bruticus.
That's the sound of profit! Swindle, shut it!
And I wasn't kidding when I said short and sweet, this takes barely a minute to do. What doesn't take barely a minute is playing as Jazz.
Wiped out the whole platoon with one punch. Hey, cancel that negativity!
To stop Bruticus, we need help from Jetfire with an airstrike, but I'm not sure if I trust this dude.
My spark is finished.
Stop getting in my way if you don't want to get shot!
Now this fight with Bruticus is the longest part in the chapter. You've got to be careful when you melee him because he will get you with his flamethrower. Thankfully we have Energon cubes, but yeah no, this was very soul draining. The only obstacle is that you do have to shoot him in the face and use the airstrike. I tried just using melee without the airstrike, but I don't think it works.
Tactical nuke incoming! Rat! I actually felt that!
It's now time for the epic showdown of Optimus Prime and Megatron.
Why won't you die? Nanomachine, son! What? You die!
To end Optimus's tyranny, we're going to be playing as Megatron.
What?
Chuck! That's what you are! Chuck!
Silence!
No matter the difficulty, the game doesn't even try to make this final fight hard. They created 2 games just to lead up to this moment, and they want you to enjoy every minute of it.
How dare you! Oh, please.
Even better is that Optimus Prime delivers the burn of the century.
Not bad for a librarian. Perhaps you should have spent more time in the pit. And perhaps you should have spent more time in the library.
Prime representing nerds everywhere.
Give me your faith. Starscream! Weak. Puny.
And with one last hit, the challenge is over.
Systems scrambled. I am the Dominator.
Shut up!
You are nothing. I shall shake this off.
We now get treated to one of the best endings in video games.
No, the portal.
Stick it in neutral, Megatron.
Silence. Hey, stop that. Come on. No, I will not be denied. I'll kill you. Megatron, I will kill you. You dare threaten me? Me?
And that's how the game ends, with it being arguably one of the biggest cliffhangers in video games. Well, unless if you watch Optimus Prime. An unfortunate sequel, / prequel would be made, Rise of the Darkspark.
Wah wah wah.
Which I'm in no rush to play just yet.
Why not? I don't want to. But I've got a gun. I don't care. Doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
So, can you beat Fall of Cybertron using only melee?
No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened.
Technically, yes. Granted, just like War for Cybertron, there are many obstacles, but most of the rules we've had to break is due to the game forcing us to. The only major threat in this entire challenge is undoubtedly the shotgunners. which in some ways has changed my entire outlook on this game. Would I recommend this challenge? Yeah, because I turned out fine.
Guess I'm Oogly-goo!
And with the recent rumours of these Transformers games potentially coming back, let's just hope that a game that was a big part of our childhood can come back once again and be introduced to brand new audiences. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my War for Cybertron video and stay tuned for more videos just like this, because I'm going to keep doing this until I lose my mind. As stated, I will be doing a vehicle mode only, so if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, cue the epic music, and I'll see you in the next one.
What's cracking, little bitches?
Can't believe you outranked me.
Right, kids? That ends tonight's broadcast. See you on the floor soon. Peace out, Bonds.
Yeah! We made it!
He's tripping because he got served.
Oh, yeah! We got it down now!
Soundwave superior.